guys, so in this video, right, I just want to do a little bit of understanding for the newer players or for those that do not know. I think a lot of people mix up with the difference between League Starter versus the low budget version. All right, they are very different. Okay, so I mean, this is from and to my perspective, okay? They are very different. So I'm just going to break down the points into why they are different, and I hope those newer players or players that just joined recently, you can kind of understand where I am trying or what I'm trying to explain from here. Okay, so I'll just type as I go, alright? So League Starter, okay? Number one, this is basically you start off a brand new character. Oh my god, I should make it. Give me a minute. Let me just change the font so I can. Oh, I'll just pull this. Okay, I don't think you need to see my character. You start off a brand new character with anything you can grab. When I say anything you can grab, this means like rare items with maybe just one life, one resist, and then you can just benchcraft the remaining resist. Alright, and the benchcraft doesn't need to be an expensive one. You can just use the alchemy orb and benchcraft the double resistance, like the 13 to 15% fire lightning cold resist. There will be double of them. You will get them through the X, and this is the equipments that you should be getting for your League Starter. Alright. Okay, number two, always focus on maxing your resistance first. Okay, this is very important as you play through the X, because you cannot always get the perfect gear. You cannot always get good stuff. When you get a rare gear, you should not, your builds, right, should not always be solely focused on supporting like falling gems, everything. Only by right, only your main skill, maybe an additional one. So 2 skills is supposed to be linked. Other than that, it should not be linked. Okay, so that's why always focus on maxing your resistance. Next is like what I mentioned. For League Starters, only have 1 to 2 equipments that are linked to the correct socket colors. Okay, so what does this mean? Let's say if I'm going to play a winter type brand, for example, on League Start, which is actually what I'm going to play, I will need probably 3 blue and 1 green. Alright, once you find this equipment, let's say 3 blue, 1 green, it can be from the vendor or anything, and then you just throw in some essence or alchemy orb, right? This item is gonna stay there like forever until probably you get a better one. If you have the better one that is the better with the same type. So let's say on the boost I get blue, 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 green, and then that was like probably in Act 4, and then I found another one, let's say in Act 7, also blue, 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 green, but have a better mods and stats, then yes, you can change that. Otherwise, this is gonna stay with you all the way until Act 10. Alright, and then the rest of your equipment does not have to be linked. Okay, you are supposed to like probably pick up rare items, review them, and make sure that they have life and resistance. Alright, if you have so many sockets, I mean so many equipments that are supposed to be linked, something is wrong with your League Starter. Right, it is not supposed to have so many link items. Okay, that is one thing you need to know. Okay, so this is what I mentioned. Oh yes, and for this, right, sorry, when you're maxing your resistance, additional life is a bonus. Okay, always prioritize number 1 to max your resistance first. Life is a bonus. Okay, and the 4th point, your damage comes from your skill tree, okay, and support gems, not your items. Okay, this is really, really important. I have a lot of people asking me why is my low budget. Now we are not even talking about League Starter, right? People is already talking about low budget. Why my low budget? All the rare items are like just life and resist. Why not damage item modifiers? Isn't damage like king in this game? You kill them faster so they won't damage you. Like guys, it is not easy to find the correct damage modifiers on your rare item, right? And like I say, a league starter is you have to grab anything you can. So when you grab anything you can, you cannot focus solely on that specific modifier that gives you tons of damage for your build. That is why you always focus only on life and resist. Prioritize number 1 resistance, number 2 life. Okay, that is all, right? Let me just add on that boots is an exception. You gotta find movement speed, of course, on your boots. Life and resist, then maybe just benchcraft movement speed. Okay, you don't solely have to find movement speed as long as you have an additional free prefix slot. Then just go to your hideout, benchcraft any amount of movement speed. All right, any value of movement speed is better than having none. All right. So number 5. Basically, you should not benchcraft expensive mods. Okay, what does this mean, right? It means like let's say you should only benchcraft mods, cheap mods. All right, cheap mods that require alchemy orb. Okay, why is this so? It's because chaos orb is very, very precious at league start. Chaos orb is what is going to help you get your low budget equipments. So you're not going to benchcraft any of the things that require a chaos orb, right? Not even one. All right. Okay, maybe with the exception of movement speed. If you really want the 20 to 24 benchcraft movement speed, then maybe you can just try it out. All right. Just one. Otherwise, other than that, I would say nothing should be chaos orb required for your benchcraft. Okay. Also those specific crafts like June related ones that you need to unlock by encountering June, it should not be in your league starter also. Okay. Next is always do chaos recipe. Okay, until you get your low budget build done. Okay, this is first and foremost probably one of the best ways you can get your low budget build done, get your low budget build going, and get your game on as fast as you can, because low budget build is probably where you start to have the real fun of what you actually want to play, right? Okay, so that is all. Once you get your low budget done, you can stop the chaos recipe. Okay, so this is for league starter. Okay, league starter is very, very different from low budget. Like I mentioned, you should not use too much of the expensive currencies. Keep them. Everything is just alchemy. When you do your maps, also just use alterations. You do not really need alchemy at the start. They are kind of like precious. Sell as many useless uniques as you want. Rare items that can give you alchemy shard, every one of them counts. Okay, and then now, why am I emphasizing so much on league starter? Is because a lot of people think that a league starter equals to the low budget build, whereas my perception of a low budget build is here. Okay, now on to low budget. This is where you buy your items to make your character stronger, okay, from the league starter. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Example is probably you get a rare helmet with life and 2 mid-tier resist. Oh my god, I don't have space. 2 mid-tier resist. All right. Of course, if you have a free prefix slot or suffix slot, that would be better, but this is the minimum requirement. Why? Because when you have this, right, your resist will be much better than your league starter, and you can start to remove away those items, let's say if your resistance is max after you have bought all this life plus times 2 mid-tier resist, you will have additional space to fulfill the rest of your equipments, whether is it damage or you need attribute. This is where the low budget build comes in. Okay, as you progress on, right, low budget build will probably require a lot more stats. Let's say if I'm playing intelligence character and I'm going to use determination, I will need 155 strength and level 20 determination, right? Where the hell are you going to find 155 strength? I'm pretty sure on your skill tree, you're not going to take every single strength plus 30 node, right? That is ridiculous. That is why you will buy this kind of items, rare helmet with life and times 2 mid-tier resist, and then you can fulfill the attributes from any of your other equipments that has that mod. Rings, amulet, belt, whatsoever. Alright, this is just for strength. Dex can be from your glove. What else? Rings, amulet as well. Okay, so I'm just giving an example. Alright, I'm just giving an example. Number 2, you might need to benchcraft stuffs that require some searching from June master missions. Okay, so some of the benchcraft might not be mandatory for the build. Some might be mandatory. Like example, for my low budget COC, you will need the -7 to non-channeling skills, right? That is kind of mandatory for the build. And whereas some of the other leagues, low budgets, do not need this kind of benchcraft. What I'm trying to say is, at this stage of low budget, right, you should have a few of the benchcrafts that come from June Master missions that will make your character stronger, okay? Whether is it you get from your friends, or you come to my Discord channel and ask from me, or you search it for yourself by allocating June Master missions on your Atlas skill tree, whichever, at this stage, you should have them. Okay, number 3. Low budget items. Always keep your budget between I would just say 80 to 100 chaos, alright? Alright, around there, alright, it's about 1 exalt. Maybe because the next league we are probably not going to use exalt as a expensive currency anymore. Probably it'll be divine orb. I do not know yet, okay? I do not know yet, but what I'm trying to say is keep your budget between 80 to 100 chaos. Do not spend too much. Alright, probably every item that you use, that you buy, is supposed to be max at 10 chaos. Okay? Of course, the lesser the better. Right? The lesser the better, but do not waste too much time to search for your items. As long as you see it is a decent item with the price and it's a mod that you want, maybe let's just say, let's go back to the helmet, alright? Rare helmet. If I were to find a rare helmet that gives me, let's say 75 life, okay, and then 40% maybe fire resist, and then maybe a 32% lightning resist, like, bro, that is good enough, okay? Just get them. Whether is it, if you're going to debate whether should I going to keep, like, let's say the item is selling for 5C, okay, example, but then you only have 6 chaos in your stash. Like, if you're gonna spend it, you're gonna left with 1 chaos, guys. I'm telling you, just spend it. Alright, the more time you spend searching on all this equipment, the less time you're actually doing the farming. So don't be too what is that word called? Don't be too picky on stuff. If it's just 1 to 2 chaos more, just spend it. Alright, the time that you actually keep searching for these items that maybe cost 1C lesser, you can probably earn a few more chaos more. That is what I'm trying to say. Okay, don't be too picky on spending your chaos. That is what currencies are for. Spend them. Okay. 4th, usually for low budget build is just 1 to 2 uniques, and the rest is just rare items with life and resist. Okay, this is very, very important. you should not have any damage mods unless you really have kept your resistance, you have very good life, and you have the attributes required to play the build, and you still have like spare item slots that you can try to build around damage mods, then go ahead. Alright, but otherwise, for low budget build, I will suggest to just focus on life and resist for your rare items. Alright, that's why 1 to 2 uniques, preferably, let's just say either your weapon or your helmet, like maybe the Gao. The Gao is very popular at the start, and then the rest is just rare items with life and resist. Alright, we are not going to include tabula because tabula rasa is kind of like the staple for every league starter build. Everybody is always going to get them. Okay, don't mind me, I am just going to off this. Oops, sorry. Okay, next, low budget build. This build should be able to bring you until tier 10 maps at least. Alright, so probably some of the builds, maybe you might struggle with tier 9 or 10, but technically, right, it should be able to bring you until early red tier maps, or at least the end of yellow tier maps. Alright, that is what I have been doing for all my low budget builds. I am always trying to make them viable to even do high tier maps. Alright, even tier 14, 15, 16, I'm always trying to achieve right there. Okay, some of them, yes, they are able to. Some of them you might struggle a bit, and some of them is not even capable of. Last time, all my builds are not even capable of doing tier 14 to 16 maps, but nowadays, with a lot of experience and stuff, I kind of like understand how things should work, what is required, what is not required, and what are the mandatory things that will help you or bring you along all the way until tier 14 onwards. Okay, alright, last but not least, what I mentioned before, and I will mention over and over and over again, focus on life and resist on your items, and then your damage comes from your skill tree and support gems. This is what it is. In long story short, this is what your low budget should always be. Okay, it is very important you do not use any mandatory uniques. You should just make do with whatever you have. Of course, some of them is important. Let's say like maybe COC, you will probably need cospri for it to work really very effectively. Then that is a different story. Okay, but otherwise, just this is really the main thing. And then, like I mentioned, usually 1 to 2 uniques. The rest is just rare items with life and resist. Okay, so that is the real difference between my perspective of a league starter and a low budget. Alright, league starter, you just grab anything, grab and go. Okay, grab and go. Review the rare items along the way. If you see it, get it, and then what do you call it? As long as it fulfills your resistance, life, you can just use it. Once you reach until Act 9, if your resistance is still not capped, continue to review the items. Okay, very important. Continue to review the items until your resistance is capped. Remember, you should only have one item that is your main skill to bring you along through the campaign. Okay, the rest is not really important. Good to have, not needed. This is how it works. Doesn't matter, because even if you get a really strong, let's say right, in your campaign, maybe Act 7, you get a rare body armor. Okay, a rare body armor with really good life and let's just say triple resistance. But you only got one socket. Don't forget, along the way, you'll get Jeweler's Orb, you'll get Fusing, you will get Chrome. This is what we pick up the currencies for. You use them. Alright, Orb of Binding is the same as well. Orb of Binding is probably the best you can get for League Start because it straight away gives you a falling. It might give you a trash mod, but it gives you a falling that you can use your skills on your main skills. Okay, at least it's a rare item rather than a blank white item or a magic item. Alright, so this is all I just want to say about the League Starter versus the low budget. Upcoming on the following days, I am going to post all my builds for this league, for this next league, 3119 League of Kalandra. I just want to mention that the builds, right, is not a meta build. Alright, this is just builds that I've been playing a lot and I love to play them, and I think you guys have joined like my channel or my Discord just because you like them as well. Alright, so I will see you in the next video. Thank you guys. Goodbye. Okay, that comes to the end of this video. So if you have any questions, do join the Discord and I will try to answer your questions. And if you like my video, do remember to hit the like and subscribe button. I will see you in the next one. Bye.